okay, is usually when snowbirds move to a southern state, the first thing they get rid of is all their winter gear. Yeah. I am never using this again. This is staying here. Blah, blah, blah. So the pictures that you see of people down in South Florida and these warmer places that don't have winter gear, all of a sudden they're hauling out their 1970 grandpa's LL Bean or ski jacket that's like 10 times too big. Yeah. You go to any of the thrift stores, none of them have winter jackets, by the way. So you see all these people bundling up. My baby sister lives down by Tampa St. Pete in Largo. And, we were just talking about this the other night. We were laughing about it because it's so true. Everybody's whipping out these big old grampy jackets and, they're layering and this and that. Meanwhile, my sister's like, she got the windows rolled down in the car and she's going to work, and things like, because that's not really cold. 30 degrees isn't really cold to us. 30 degrees weather up here in the state of Maine, at least, is a signifier for, hey, spring's coming. And you see kids and grown men walking around in shorts.
Well, when it's been like negative 10 for the past 2 months, like 30 degrees, like is like, wow.
I saw a gentleman day before yesterday, and we're in a deep freeze. It was, hovering in the single digits.
Oh, yeah.
He had gym shorts. I ran to the post office to send some shipments out. The dude had gym shorts on with a winter jacket, gym shorts. And I looked at him, I said, your knees cold? And he goes, nah, I like the cold. I like it like this. And I was like, oh, okay.
He must like it.
Yeah, but you see
That's
crazy
weird.
Stuff like that up here in Maine all the time. People wearing.
There's always the kid. There's always the kid or the guy like in just shorts. I see it all the time.
Oh yeah, it happens. So what else is new for you, Addie? How was your week?
Not too bad. Getting busy, trying to just got our channels organized. That was nice. So. Been posting a bunch of like clips and segments from these live shows, and
yeah, you are.
I like those 10 to 15 minute range clips where people can just get like a nice little insight. So that's what I don't know. I've just been doing that, playing a lot of guitar, trying to get one song pinned down. I know that's not herbal related, but that's what I've been doing.
Cool beans.
Tinkering and listening to it, recording it, and then waking up the next day, listening to it, and going, "What was I thinking? That doesn't sound good." So you play the mental mind tricks during the winter time when you have time to do that, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this audio. You can see in the background filming, so get a chance to critique the work as I clip.
I will, as soon as I get back upstairs after making my truffle macaroni. Which I'm heading. I'm going to pour myself a drink to head
Just
out.
had like a hankering for that?
Yes. Listen, I took a major spill down some steps on Wednesday night. And I've been having some problems with both my knees the last couple of months. And I have a bleeding disease called von Willebrand's disease. Mm-hmm. And, you grow, it's hereditary. It's a direct link inheritance pattern, meaning you get it from a parent who's active in the disease as well. And, my son has it, my grandson has it, but I was carrying some stuff downstairs, down a set of stairs, and I literally landed full weight, full 175 pounds of me on my left knee and turned my right ankle.
Oh, man.
Okay? Now, you know how when you hit a joint like that, you get that instant numbing?
Dude, I've snapped my ankle and broken it, so I know, like, ankle pain. I just actually, like, rolled my ankle around because that made me wince.
Yeah, I luckily, and I know this, nothing's broken. I can flex, I can abduction, adduction, everything's good, and things like that. So I just knew that I was going to have one hell of a bruise. And
oh yeah.
Okay, so
I
get home.
Might get bigger too. Is it big? Is it swollen?
No, I have no. Wait. Tap that thought. So with von Willebrand's disease, one of the things with it is that we routinely get bleeding in our joints. And what happens when you get blood in your joints? Do you know?
No. I mean,
it's how you get arthritis.
Gotcha.
Okay, so, I'm thinking, okay, I'm almost 60 years old, all the years of being a gardener, riding horses, skiing, snowboarding, all that kind of stuff. It's finally taking its toll. I think that's why my knees were bothering me this morning. And so anyways, I had thought, I'm going to have to go to the hospital for this. They're going to, if this gets really bad, I don't know what I'm going to do. So the one thing that you can do is apply heat. When you apply heat to a joint, it speeds things up, inclusive of bleeding. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm already going to bruise already. I already know it. So I'm just going to let that blood flow because I don't want this nasty, bad, bumpy hematoma. Because when you get a really bad bruise, you get that knot where the old bruise is, and that stays for a long time unless you apply warm, moist heat to it and rub on it, and then it'll go away after a couple weeks. It just goes away. But I've had some hematomas that have lasted for years on my shins because I just didn't take the time to apply heat on it. So when I got home after the bad spill, my knee was still a little bit numb. I went upstairs, I elevated my knee, and I applied a heat wrap to it, a heating pad.
Yeah.
And so that's how I slept Wednesday in a sitting up position, like a prone position in my bed, and, with my leg up, which didn't make it too comfortable, by the way. And then all day yesterday, I laid up with my leg up, okay? I doubled up on my reishi and my turkey tail tinctures. Immediately after the spill, when I got home, I doubled up on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that night I had it. I had reishi and turkey tail again twice yesterday. I had 2 dropper fulls in the morning, 2 more dropper fulls at night, which, by the way, we're going to talk about another good thing about turkey tail and reishi, how regular it makes you. You can really poop really good with this stuff because it's full of fiber. But anyways, so, and then this morning, I'm an early riser. I get about 4:30, 5 o'clock, right around 4-ish, really. And I had the heating pad on it again. I doubled up on the turkey tail. Addie, this is the first time ever in my life that I took a spill that rough. I still don't have bruising. I have inflammation and swelling. However,
do you think it's going to be a slow bruise?
No.
Maybe like a 2-day. What's today? What was that? No. Wednesday. Today's Friday. So you should see it within 2 or 3 days. It should be pretty. Bad.
Don't forget I have a bleeding disease. So I would have seen the bruise almost immediately.
I bruise because my pale skin.
I don't have any bruising. What I did was, listen, I think that the pain that I've had in my knee these last couple months goes back to the first time I was shoveling. I think I partially dislocated my knee is what happened.
I think it was something else and then just tweaked it.
And then I'm just walking around on a partially dislocated knee, which by the way, I've got a high pain threshold, so I wouldn't have noticed it like some other people would have. I just would have known that it was achy. I attributed it to arthritic knees, but I got to tell you, I think I knocked something right because today I'm walking on it. I'm going up and down stairs. I'm not having any issues. Remember, one of the things that reishi and especially reishi, increases muscle stamina and muscle strength. So here I am taking these tinctures pretty religiously, throughout the winter because, I deal a lot with the public and I don't want to catch anything. And, doubling up on the dose, I don't know if that did something or what, but I had initially taken ghostpipe when I got home for the pain. And, how I've always said ghostpipe contains 40 times the amount of salicylic acid than an aspirin does. So for somebody who's a bleeder, like me, that's something to be extremely cognizant of because, especially with an injury, because I'm going to bleed more. Not with ghostpipe because you're only taking drops. So it gave me enough of the analgesic that, I didn't have to stack with any ibuprofen or any Tylenol. I didn't use any of that. And I just managed with ghostpipe.
That's not bad.
I didn't take any ghostpipe. I haven't taken any ghostpipe since yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
I haven't had the need to. It doesn't hurt me that bad that I need to have the pain relief. However, I may use it as an analgesic if it does, start hurting, to bring that inflammation down. But turkey tail and reishi do that too.
Maybe just do include like one drop, like microdose the ghostpipe almost. Just keep a little bit like in your system,
Nah, I want to see. Look at me. I'm all about taking notes, and you know me and my log books. So for me, I'm creating my own experiment on myself. Because I can't be telling clients, hey, take this. You sprained your ankle. Do this. Do this. Do this. Unless I believe it, right? And that spill I took was a pretty good one. I skipped like 3 steps, and full on my left knee. So
you gotta be more careful. What, were you in a rush, or you just totally ate shit?
No, I just ate shit.
Really? Just one of them times?
Yeah, just one of those times. I skipped the
step,
twisted my ankle a little bit, but the ankle hasn't even swollen. It's crazy. So I'm not saying that my tinctures are cure-all for everything.
No, don't say that.
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying
the turkey tail
everybody's
tincture.
unique.
Yeah,
everybody's unique, and this definitely has, it.
Well, ghostpipe should definitely help ease the pain.
Well, it's worthy for me to share with others. My experience.
Just a personal experience, right?
Yeah, that's it. And it helps me. In fact, if somebody says, hey, Jan, I sprained my ankle, what should I do? And I'm like, well, ghostpipe for the pain and inflammation for sure. Turkey tail and reishi for the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments. And just try it out. I mean, everybody's different. But for me, somebody who's a bleeder and somebody who should be suffering awful right now and be in a leg brace or something, it worked. It worked for me. And I'm going to be 59 this year. I'm not, we don't rebound so well when we're old, when we fall down. That's when we're like, help,
I think you stop rebounding after late 20s. I mean, I'm 35 and I don't rebound very well. Sure, it gets worse. I'm sure it gets worse, but
yeah. Nah, you're good. So, with that being said, that's how my week was. I took a spill. I didn't kill myself, thank goodness. And the tinctures helped. I didn't have to go to a doctor. I didn't need CT scans. I didn't need anything like that.
Yeah.
And I just nursed it. It was a wait-and-see approach, keeping it elevated.
It's not on camera. It's not on like a Ring camera or anything, is it?
Thank God it isn't. Thank God it isn't. But it really was. And response when they take the sticker is, yeah, I'm okay. Because they're automatically because you took one.
Hey, you're breaking up a little bit.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you why I'm breaking out, because I actually went upstairs without my phone. So I apologize for that.
First you're cooking truffles, now you're upstairs without your phone.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I got
you got a lot going on during your live.
Well, you got to stay busy, even though I'm bored out of my gourd because
that's what you're doing. You're nesting. You know what that is? When people nest, they just rearrange it.
Yeah, of course I know what that is. I'm a female who's had a child. That's what pregnant women lead. That's what pregnant women folk do. We nest. Yeah. So.
Is that what's going on? Just hitting some like mid, late January organizing. Going stir crazy. I told you last week I was going stir crazy. Now it's hitting you. Now I got to talk you down.
I know. I'm more than stir crazy because, like I told you, I woke up, a week or so ago, and I could smell spring.
Yeah,
and then we had a deep freeze, and so my gardener instincts are kicking in, and that usually only happens, with the beginning of spring. It never happens in January, I'll tell you that much. It's never happened before in January.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like a crazy winter, especially down south. So we'll see what the heck happens.
It really is. So let's talk about that crazy picture you posted.
Oh, yeah, the debatable lynx / bobcat.
It's definitely a Canadian lynx.
All right, yeah.
Without a doubt. Okay, look at if you look at the feet. Remember, I said in French we call it gros pantoufles, meaning big slippers, plus the markings. That's completely a Canadian lynx. Canadian lynx are protected here in the state of Maine. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody stole that picture. They put it on a Maine website on social media that was geared for hunters. Okay?
Just to get some clickbait and like some action.
Just to get clickbait. And so there you go. There's how the internet works. So somebody who was actually there the day that this hunt went down, which, by the way, happened in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Okay? They were there. They know they were there that day. They were like, and they called it out. They're like, this is clickbait. I was there that day. This actually happened in British Columbia. And
so they're getting like, even
I don't know if they got booted from the forum or what the deal was.
No, but it's strange.
I thought that was kind of a crappy thing to do.
So there's like multiple things going on. So like, people are pissed about that for sure, whether it was illegally killed in Maine or not. Okay, so the first argument I'm looking at right now.
It wasn't. It was definitely BC.
All right. So I'm reading it. I'm reading it right now. It says
because anybody that did that in the state of Maine, okay, and puts their picture on there. Knock, knock, knock. Fish and Game Wildlife is going to be at your door, and somebody's going to jail.
It says, this bobcat was just killed in Maine, weighing a whopping 45 pounds. This is a giant cat. Can bobcats get 45 pounds?
The bobcats that I've come across the last couple of years in New England can range anywhere from 40 to 65.
A bobcat? I'm Googling. It's saying around 35.
No, listen, I'm telling you, I've seen them.
Yeah,
I haven't weighed them, but they are.
You think they just look floofy? You think they're just floofy? Like they just get extra fur and they just look fucking like
No, because I've seen them.
This thing's
girthy. All kinds of years. Yeah, the one that you're looking at, that look at the markings. There's a distinct difference between a bobcat, of course, and a Canadian lynx. And one of the big thing being is size. Canadian, the first time I saw Canadian lynx, it was up in the northern Maine woods, up near Jackman on Route 15, and it was marching right alongside the International Snowmobile Trail system. Okay.
Yeah.
And I stopped in the middle of the road. Okay, because I could see it. I could see ahead of me. It was a snowy day. But it wasn't snowing. It had snowed, and I could see probably a half a mile or so up ahead of me. And this is a road that's not. Put it this way: there's no traffic on that road.
Yeah.
So I saw something start to cross the road, and I instantly thought it was a deer. So I slowed down, and at the time, I had this BMW Turbo 4-door jobber, okay? And I didn't want to hit the deer, obviously. It's a rental, number one. Number two, I'm slowing down if I see something like that. And as I got up close, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I rolled down my window, and I started positioning to take a picture. And this thing turned around and looked at me over his shoulder blades. And I realized how stupid that was for me to do. I rolled up my window, and I got the hell out of there, and I started calling all my friends that were hunters and telling them this big cat I just saw, and
what do you think
it scared
it was?
the hell out of me.
Mountain lion?
I'm looking at this. Huh?
Was it mountain lion or a snowcat?
No, it was a Canadian lynx. And so, my friends that are hunters would tell me, "Oh, Jan, there's Canadian lynx up there all the time. It definitely wasn't a bobcat. That was definitely a lynx. Did it have spots here? Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yep, that's Canadian lynx. Big slippers. Yep, it had."
So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at.
That's
then,
what
right?
you're looking at is a Canadian lynx.
I just posted the link in the comments, so anybody who's listening, click on the link, and there's a picture of this huge cat. Somebody got. And, speaking of big cats, I got a big cat coming my way.
Where is that getting today?
Let's see if he wants to come on TV. Oh, there he is. Here's a lynx. His name's Riley. Look at this monster.
Look at that. Do they at least catch little varmints for you? Oh
There's
my God,
no such thing as bugs or mice in this house, dude. They will wait at every crack and crevice and listen to everything.
Hi, Kelly.
Look at him go. He's talking.
What a good baby. He loves his daddy. There,
yeah,
up he goes. Cool. Yeah. So I noticed that people that are watching happens to be Davis. Davis, I know you're in Texas, and I know that you told me that you weren't going to get any snow, but I'm dying to find out if you did. So if you did get some snow, if you and Marie got some snow, I want to hear about it. Make a comment.
Everybody got snow down south. Dude, that snow was reaching from, like the Panhandle, like, all the way up to, like, South Carolina. Like, everybody got, like, I think the only people... Riley, you're getting out of control. You gotta chill. This beast. But, yeah. The video you posted in the bayou was super, like, trippy. I was like, wow, I've never seen snow down there.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it really is. But I really like the one that I saw at Pensacola Beach with the big snowman right there on the surf. Right there on the surf line. I saw that in one of the social media platforms.
People down there aren't used to snow, man. This is like crazy to them.
Yeah, it kind of is.
But it was weird. It was weird when I sent you that that channel, that YouTube channel I sent you, that weather channel. He's cool. Max Velocity. He's the guy. He's really good. He's on top of weather. So keep an eye out on him. And another thing is, I guess like our cold weather like pushed all that cold weather down south and like got rid of our snowstorm. So that could have hit us again, but it went south. I don't know how that storm worked out. Because
the way the trade winds go this time of year, clockwise.
Yeah, I've never seen that. So
it's blowing things down. It's blowing things down and out to sea when it can. But, like, you know, I've got some of my clients that live out in the Carolinas, you know, where it very rarely snows, you know, and, you know, one of our group members, Nettie, you know, she had been seeing snow halos for, you know, the last couple of weeks, and I told her, I said, you know, when we see those halos around the moon up here in Maine, and even around the sun during the day, we call those snow halos, and that's a signifier that snow's coming. And she's like, oh, I wish it would. And she kept posting these pictures. So I said to her, I go, you willed this thing into happening, see? Your intuition was right. You know, you had the snow halos and you got your snow.
That's
so,
cool.
You know, and she put such pretty pictures of her garden all the time out there. So,
yeah, it looks cool. Where I don't know, like it's just not supposed to be snowing down there.
Hi, Sarah. Happy birthday,
oh, happy
Sarah.
Birthday. What's going on?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Listen, I hope your next trip around the sun is awesome. I really do. But yeah, it's Sarah's birthday today, and she wasn't supposed to be watching us, but here she is. Yay, Sarah!
That's cool.
Yeah, it really is. So one other thing I saw on some of the social media platforms on the Herbal, her massage ran late. Birthday massage, Sarah? That's awesome.
I see Wendy.
One of the things
Wendy commented, "We are used to the extreme snow and cold. Weird seeing it in the South." Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm in Pennsylvania, so like imagine like Janice is like super north, right? She's all the way up here. I'm in the middle, and then somebody in like South Carolina, right? Well, I feel like Pennsylvania has had these easy summers, or I mean easy winters. The past at least 3 or 4 winters have been super mild. We'll see how this winter ends, but so far, except for the past week, it's been good. It's been good. But
I think it's really hitting places that aren't used to winter because people's tires aren't as good. They don't
even have salt down south. Yeah, they don't have plows. Like they don't sell plows like at Lowe's down in Texas. Like you know what I mean? Like they don't like when I lived down there and it froze for like 3 or 4 days. Like dude, school shut down. It was a big deal. Like people were like not driving anywhere. And it got super, super, super icy, and they were right. Like everything was caked in ice because nobody was prepared. There's not even snow shovels down there. Maybe now, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. I don't, you know.
Wendy, I'm wondering if you had a winter coat. At the beginning of this podcast, we were talking about how when people, you know, live in these southern climates, warmer climates that don't normally get snow, they haul out their grandpa's jacket from the attic.
Yeah.
So I hope that everybody fared well and everybody did okay in this extreme cold that we've been having. You know, trust me, you know, Addie and I have been talking about it this week and, you know, how everything is unseasonable. But for me as a gardener, it's like in my DNA after thousands of years where, you know, I can tell when certain things are going to come and, you know, I can kind of prepare for it a little bit just based on, you know, weather and historical patterns. And it's always based on my nose and being observant and seeing certain things, you know, and the old wives' tales that go along with it, I guess.
Yeah, we have the groundhog in Pennsylvania, so that's a fun thing to speculate whether he sees a shadow or not. I know you don't believe in that, but that's a wives' tale.
Yeah, Sarah said she saw a video of a guy skiing on a beach in Florida. That would have been awesome for me to see. I haven't seen that one. But up here in Maine, when we get
skiing in Florida, dude, I've never even heard that sentence.
I know, right? Here in Maine, when we get these storms, you know, people are taking their snowmobiles out and they're hauling skiers down main streets because pretty much everything shuts down, you know, in the middle of a big old storm. So you'll see videos posted online, you know, where people are skiing behind trucks and snowmobiles and stuff like that. I myself, I may have done that behind a state plow truck one year on the interstate a few years back when we had a really good snowstorm. I did that. But everybody has to do something crazy a few times in their life in order to really enjoy it. So everybody can be a panda in the snow, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Like our snowstorms, they last, I don't know, a day or two. But dude, like the one that just passed, everything froze. So my car, like, I had to go spray it right at the car wash because I don't have a hose that reached my car at my house. Long story short, it's like such a weak stream. As I'm spraying it, it's freezing to my car. I'm just icing my car up more, and then I had to actually switch car spots and spray with the actual hose. Everything's frozen, so now it's thawing out. But the past storm wasn't that bad. A lot of people freaked out. They thought we were going to get like 10 inches. It was like nothing. So I think it gets overhyped. But down south, were they calling for all that, or did it just happen? I feel like it didn't.
No, there was a cold front that came in. You know, like I said, my sister lives down in Largo, and she was telling me how, you know, that they were getting freezing temperatures and this and that, and how she's driving with her window down while everybody's, you know, freezing. And she said that, you know, I'd be surprised, but it might snow. And see how that gardener thing works? Even she knew it was going to snow.
That's cool.
And sure enough, you know, they got friggin' snow, you know. And so, yeah, there's that. And Wendy said she has lots of coats, so Wendy did good. Wendy, I'm glad you got lots of coats and you kept nice and warm. I really am.
All right, so February. Good.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to follow up with this stupid little fact here. In Pennsylvania, if the groundhog sees its shadow, it predicts 6 more weeks of winter. However, if it doesn't see its shadow, it predicts an early spring. So February 2nd, we're going to get the groundhog's official prediction.
Yeah, and I never believed that groundhog.
So we're gonna hold this year. This year we're holding them accountable. Okay, we're gonna keep track on this thing.
Punxsutawney Phil. Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, so Punxsutawney Phil. You know, I mean, I think to
What's
me
next?
it's a great social.
Tell me that's not a week from now.
I don't know. I think it's a great social thing for the community to get
fun.
together and, you know, waiting for spring to come. But I posted a spring, you know, countdown ticker.
I know, that's what got me thinking.
Foragers. Yeah, and all you have to do is click on that, and it'll give you how many days till spring. You know, so literally there's less than, you know, 2 months to spring right now, and I'm really happy about it. But what I'm really happy about is that we're over the hump of the longest days of the year as of today. So here in Maine, okay, right now it's 4:40 p.m. and it's still light out. Okay, is it starting to get dusky? Absolutely. You know, the sun's starting to go down. However, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, it was getting dark at 3:30.
Yeah, it was.
So we've already moved up over an hour, and the fact that that's happening has something to do with that magnetic shift of the poles, the way these crazy weather patterns are, and everything else. Because I would still expect it to be complete dark right now at 4:30 here in Maine in January, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're over, you know, the hump of that period of time where we have the longest days of the winter, because, you know, people are starting to plant, they're starting their winter sowing right now.
This time next week will be February, or the third. It'll be January 31st. It'll basically be February. You know what I mean? Like we're out of it. Got a couple more weeks to kill.
Yeah. And I noticed that Michelle is listening. Michelle happens to live in the San Diego area, and I know that the wildfires, they said on the news, was moving into the San Diego area. So, Michelle, I hope that you and your family are safe and everything's okay with you. I'm kind of glad I'm not in Southern California anymore right now. You know, with all these wildfires, my breathing would really be compromised for sure. But,
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I was watching more videos the other night. It's crazy, the devastation. Now that you have there's like time lapsing and whatnot. It's crazy how fast a fire just goes. It gets way out of everybody's control.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Everybody's.
But I'm pretty sure that the snow in some of the southern states, especially some areas of the Carolinas, they're happy to get it because it won't be so dry, and it'll definitely make an impact on the ticks, that are down there out in the woods, because I can't stand those things. I really can't. I just want them all to freeze to death and just go away.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier too. It's good to get a big blast, like below freezing, and it just zaps a lot of these eggs that are tested overseas, that they can't take the cold temperatures in our country like they can in their country.
Yeah. Ticks are really good survivalists.
So yeah, dude, ticks come back every year, man. The stink bug. Did you ever get stink bugs in your area? We had them so bad. Yeah. Like
you can get them in old houses
when they first came around.
They're brown marmoladed beetles is what they are.
They affected us big time, and they were a pain in the ass, dude. Like, man, they'd always get into my room trying to sleep.
Well, they're scary looking, aren't they? They look like something from the prehistoric age. And I don't know why people call them stink bugs. Because
they stink.
If you've ever squished one, okay,
they stink.
It's not a rancid smell. They smell lemony.
Some people say they smell like cilantro.
No.
Here you go, Sarah.
I don't think they smell like cilantro. Well, cilantro is an herb that affects people different ways. You either think it tastes like soap, or you love it.
I have a friend who says he can't eat cilantro because it smells like stink bugs. And ever since he said that, and I swatted a stink bug, I was like, wow, that's super familiar. And it is cilantro-y. Riley is really taking over, man. Calm down, bro.
I think it's. I know Sarah's like, I hear kitty cat. Yeah.
He's talking.
Yeah.
He's singing.
So one of the things I did want to talk about this week that you and I kind of touched upon a little bit, besides the AI, besides the lynx, that really wasn't in Maine, it was a BC kill, where it is legal to kill them, hunt and trap them and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a big post. That thing went crazy. Speaking of lynx, there goes my lynx.
They kept, I know, right? He likes getting his butt scratched, apparently, at it.
He likes,
He's backing right up on you.
Well, he's really interested in what's going on. He wants to see the laptop. It's warm, too. My laptop's nice and warm, so he's trying to step on it. So that's what he's really trying to do. I'm secretly, holding him back. He's trying to just jump.
Oh, dude, you gotta get those buttons, talk buttons for your cat.
No, dude, they would use them. No way. They talk enough, dude. They know what they want.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be awesome to actually know what they're saying?
I know what he's saying. What the hell are you doing up here? You don't. We want to play.
Yeah,
you just got home from work.
I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying too. He's saying I'm backing up on it. Scratch it. That big daddy scratch.
He's not saying that.
He is in my head.
That was Riley the cat. Everybody, he's very, very, very nice. Hey, he is a elder cat now, so he gets a little shot, so he can run up the stairs and whatnot. So he's feeling very good now. That's probably why he's jumping around.
What kind of shots are you giving your cat?
I forget what it's called. My fiance is in charge of that, so, but...
Is it a steroid?
No.
Oh.
Something for older cats. I forget what it's called.
I don't know. See, I'm
makes them feel great. They get it.
Cat person,
they get it like once a month. I don't know enough about it. Like I'm just the feeder guy and play with me guy. That's all they look at me as.
And the cleaner of the litter.
Cleaner guy, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
I'm not going to take credit for that. I vacuum. I'm the vacuumer.
You're a good fiance. you're doing all the stuff that girls don't want to do, which is clean the litter boxes.
Hey, man.
Plus, women, childbearing age, if you're pregnant, they tell you not to be around litter boxes anyways because of the, toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, we have these ionic air filters. Have you ever heard of those? They're really nice.
Yeah, I have them in my house. I have HEPA filters that are ionic.
I have a couple. Dude, I have like a couple mega ones, and those things are great. So like, they come on as a timer and helps filter the air. And then you just take you just click a button, take it out, and clean it with a rag, and that's it. So you don't have to replace like these big filters or anything. And they actually just discontinued them because of that. So people are I don't know, getting a little buy happy on eBay. They're starting to charge a shitload for these things.
Yeah, I bought mine a few years ago, but like I said, even my boot dryer has an ionic air cleaner system, and it's just a little button I press, and it supposedly, it's supposed to stop stink, and
yeah, it's like a deodorizer, and it also it collects all the dust and hair, like really fucking good, like super surprising, like.
Oh, I will never own another boot dryer warmer ever again, other than one that has an ionic switch on.
Yeah.
Because it's a world of difference, complete world of difference, especially if you're running around in hiking boots or snow boots or skiing boots, even my boarding boots, those things can stink after a while. So you put these on this boot thing, you turn on a switch, and boom, done. I use it, I've got it set up where, I got a tall one and then I got a small one in the front, for my shorter boots, but I definitely need it for my bigger boots, without a doubt.
Yeah, so, I gotta get some hiking gear. You're talking about hiking gear, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm due, that is one thing on my list, is boots. So I need new boots, I want new pants for hiking, and, that's pretty much it. Boots and pants.
Listen, guys, it's so much easier for you to get, hiking pants and things like that. I don't know why, misogyny at play.
I'd love to have my own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I want some real hiking pants. Like, I'm tired of going to these. Even if I go to, like, Dick's or something, like, I want some, some premium gear this year.
Listen, there are some great brands. That I even own. I mean, Carhartt's a good brand.
Yeah, I have some of that.
Yeah, but for women, believe it or not, is Athleta. It's a women's yoga brand, and I own Athleta and Prana. Prana is the majority of my hiking pants.
Yeah.
They have, they got the stretch, they got the move to it, which you need. You're bending down, you're, climbing, things like that. We need to have a little bit of lycra and stretch in there. But a lot of them will have the panels, kind of like my boarding and ski pants, where you've got holes in the crotch that allow the airflow. So you're not sweaty Betty, and you can get to it, because that's one of the things. And listen, it's true.
Dude,
it's
if you're hiking for
women,
even as a man, like anybody, like you go out.
You guys.
Well, I'm not comparing that. I'm just saying, if you go out with the wrong gear, you can like chafe yourself up, like even just your legs. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it's the cheat.
So,
so you need to have the. For me, there's just been one too many times that I've been hiking out on a trail with cotton pants on that aren't really hiking pants, they're just cargo pants. And by the time I come crawling out of the woods, 5-6 hours later, I look like I peed myself. I literally will look like I peed myself because there's just sweat everywhere. So with the right gear, Prana, I encourage,
I recommend wearing black pants too. Actually, for that reason, sweating so much.
Well, no. Remember what I said about the color black? when you're out hiking, it attracts things like black flies. Okay? So you want to wear light colored gear.
What do you think, like gray? I always wear black pants. I don't know. Maybe I should change my... See, there you go. Gear change.
Yeah, gear. Okay, so...
So like light tan, gray.
I've got gray. I do have a black pair of the Pranas, but that's mainly for me bopping around in my own garden outside. It's not for hiking. You got to wear light colored clothes. You want to be visible. You don't know who's hunting. You don't know, especially if you don't know the land. You don't know if somebody's out there, with a bow and arrow. You don't know. You don't want somebody to mistake you for an animal. So bright colors on the top, hats, things like that to protect yourself. But yeah, I mean, I just got a pair of the Carhartt leggings, just like last week or the week before, and because Carhartt is trying to gear more towards female movement out in the trades and things like that. And the one thing that I've always had a problem with leggings and why I don't wear them routinely out in the field, number one, they don't give me enough protection. Okay, meaning, I could take a spill and the stick is going to go right through it.
Or even a piece of like a thorn bush could rip it.
Yeah, they can. They rip pretty easy, don't they?
Yeah.
These Carhartts are pretty.
Well, I don't wear leggings, but I can imagine.
Yeah, what I like about them the most is they have this wide, elastic, very sturdy waistband that doesn't roll over, and it actually keeps them up. So you're not always hauling them up every 2 seconds when you're out there hiking.
Yeah, dude, when you have like too big of pants or too tight or something like that and you're not comfortable, dude, it is a damper, like, and it takes like your mentality just a little bit away from what you should be focusing on. So that's why I say that too, because like I've taken some friends out and I'm like, dude, like, what are you thinking? Why are you wearing flip flops? Like, we're Oh
no, never wear flip flops on the hiking. Don't do it.
I'm not calling stuff like that. I'm like, or sandals and stuff. I'm like, dude, man, like, I'm trying to get it, like. But
yeah, when you go out in the woods, I mean, unless you're on I don't know.
I've seen a lot of cool shoes now. There's shoes that like fit around your feet, and that's what a lot of people wear now. It's cool.
What is that?
They have like feet shoes where it's like your toes go inside of like
those have been around for about a decade.
Yeah, I know, but like, dude, like everybody's wearing them things now. Everybody that I see hiking is on their off-roaders.
Everybody is going to learn this the hard way, and I know that they are.
I like big boots.
Because all of us learn it the hard way. You need a good, sturdy, black, non-slip sole, number one, okay, which is why I religiously hike, believe it or not, in Danskos, and I've been very vocal about this, because I need to have that ankle strength. Danskos help me maintain my ankle strength, okay? And I can't tell you how many times that I have tripped on roots, on rocks, and everything else, because you're moseying right along, you're scanning the side, you're not really always paying attention for what's ahead of you, and all of a sudden you nail your foot. Hard toes, okay? Danskos provides that for me. Is it going to stop a forklift from crushing my toe? No, but it sure.
I don't recommend steel toe either for hiking because they're heavy as hell.
Not steel toe for hiking.
Heavy as hell.
But your toe, it's got to be a good leather hiking shoe. Where if you were to trip, it's not going to hurt your toe. You should be
able to like kick a fire around a little bit without, like a Timberland or something of that nature without a steel toe.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Absolutely. So now's the time to be focusing on gear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so focus on your gear.
Yeah, dude. I want to do an unpacking too. I have all this gear too. I want to do an unpacking video of just getting my gear ready down the road too.
We definitely have to do that without a doubt.
Yeah, I have some cool things.
The other thing to bring with you when you go foraging, especially for mushrooms, because you want to spread the spores, okay, while you're harvesting, okay, is a good seagrass basket, okay? And
seagrass basket.
Seagrass. You know, it's made with this special type of prairie grass. You know, they make them in Africa, actually.
Let me see.
And a lot of foragers have them, and they have leather wrapped handle at the top with a couple loops on it. So that's where people put their foraging knives. They hook them onto the loops or carabiners and things like that. But if you look on my Etsy site, and then, you know, or any of the pictures that I have, you'll see that one of those big baskets is in the back.
Yeah.
Of the pictures of the tinctures. That's the kind of basket. You know, they come in different color stripes.
I'm looking at some right now. I don't know if I don't want to post one because I don't know if it's the one.
Yeah. Sarah likes Merrill hiking shoes and Keen closed-toe sandals. Sarah, I've got Merrill hiking, shoes and Keen. Which, by the way, Addie, Keen is the brand that you want to look for hiking pants. I've got a few Keen, hiking pants.
Oh, Merrill looks nice. I just looked that up because I have a pair of Skechers, and these just look like nicer versions of them. I didn't like the Skechers as much as I thought I would, but these look nice.
If you can.
What is it called?
But I'll tell you, Keen, Keen. And Merrill, M-E-R-R.
Yeah, Merrill. I just looked up. They look dope, dude. Like, that's right up my alley.
Keen is a real outdoorsy brand,
Yeah,
and
I'm looking right now.
I'm liking them to Carhartt a lot because.
Dude, they look nice.
I've got a pair of these.
Looks like Boot Barn holds the keys to them things.
When I do these heavy duty garden installs, where, there are times that I do have to get on my knees, even though I can't stand it. And I usually just bend over. But Keen actually has these pockets that are in these knee patches that they have in this particular pair of Keen hiking pants that I have. They look like they're carpenter jeans, but they're not. And it's open on both the bottom and the top. So any dirt goes right out. You don't have to worry about getting the rocks or feeling the rocks or anything like that. So, so Keen is, Keen's another good brand, but Keen is more for somebody like me who is, who's a professional fine organic gardener who's out there building and installing gardens and stuff like that, but it gives you good knee protection as well. But for the ladies, what you want is that ventilation in the crotch area, without a doubt. And there's all kinds of breathable fabrics, where you can get that. And the best companies to look for, like for me, and trust me, I've tried them all, is Athleta. Athleta primarily in Prana is where I will get my, my hiking pants because they're protective. And I have to tell you, I've never got rips in them. There's some pairs that I've had for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're still just as good as they were from the day I bought them.
See, I was using I use like Wrangler, and they have like this. I guess it's like not neoprene, but it's like Gore-Tex almost, and it's great for rain and wetness and whatnot. But they're cheap. They rip. The stitching sucks. Like I've ripped a few right at the crotch too. Hiking and stuff.
Yeah, so
you can't repair that.
Even guys have to have that stretch. And by the way, here's a cure for chafe. Okay, for the men out there and women. Okay, if you're getting into shape and your inner thighs are rubbing and this and that, we've talked about this before, where it feels like you're going to get a blister almost. But for chafe, and it works every time, bag bomb. Okay? Take a shower, clean the area, dry it well, and apply some bag balm, let it sit, sleep with it on, rub it in, and because bag balm has, antibiotic ointment in it, and it really works. My son plays, sports, his entire life, basketball, football, and I'd see him come home for practice walking bow-legged, and he couldn't wait to get in the shower.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and fishing and surf fishing too, like, getting wet too, coming out of the water.
Oh, yeah. The other thing is, and this is going to make people cringe when I say it.
Oh, man.
Isopropyl rubbing alcohol. It's going to burn like hell for the first 2 seconds, but it'll stop any yeast infection
It'll
from
just
building
dry
up.
it out.
Yeah, and it'll dry out the area, but my son, he wasn't too much into the isopropyl alcohol for obvious reasons.
No, I'd be like, get that away from me.
Yeah, but women, we'll do anything. We'll try it. We got a much higher pain threshold than you guys do, you big weenies.
Nah, well, if I get sick, it's the end of the world, just so everybody knows.
It only burns for a minute, but it'll stop any yeast infection. You know how sometimes you can smell when somebody who's overweight. If you're in a store, you walk by them. It's that fold in between the folds of their skin. It gets really oily. That's a yeast infection. So that can happen with women, topically. Not the normal yeast infection that most women can get. But in any case, bag bomb. Use bag bomb. Simple, easy. It's available at your local Walmart. Any of those places, you can go ahead and use that. So bag bomb should be
So add that to your hiking backpack.
Yes.
Maybe I'll add that on my list.
Yeah, and you got to have a good duty insect tick repellent, which is I use. Now, mind you, I'm going to be 59 this year, so I'm not of childbearing age anymore. I use Benz. Benz is like 99% DEET, D-E-E-T, the toxic stuff that nobody should be having, and what caused a lot of problems in Vietnam when they were spraying over there back, during the Vietnamese War. So if you're of childbearing age, don't put it directly on your skin. Go ahead and put it on clothes.
So you
and
use
it's the only thing in the 50 years, I've been out there foraging, that will deter ticks. The 2-3 times that I've gotten ticks latched on were days that I did not have it on. Every other time I can roll around in a tick nest and those things won't come near me if I've got DEET on me.
That sounded terrible.
Well, it's true. But
I'm gonna post the Benz. I'm gonna post that just a link to that tick repellent because I want to buy some later. And I'm going to forget about it.
Yeah, you really should. And, in the wintertime, you get it really cheap,
Yeah, it's $11, dude. That's great.
Yeah, I have a little pump spray. And those little pump sprays alone are like $10-15, because I get the higher percentage DEET, where it's like, like I said, they come in different percentages.
This one's strong.
I go for the big guns, spray it on my clothes, I spray it on my boots. I spray it on my hat, not on my face. And depending on where I am, I decide if I'm going to spray it along my waistband on my skin or not. A lot of times I will spray on my legs, but it's an individual choice. It's an individual decision. And I would much rather, have that on my skin than have to live the rest of my life with a latent Lyme disease. So for me, and just like everybody out there, weigh your pros and cons, educate yourself about it, decide what you want to do, and then go for it. But any of those clothing brands that they sell that say that they repel ticks and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to hit the bullshit button on it. Because,
yeah, I know. I've seen that.
Yeah,
there's another wives' tale that ticks are attracted to the color white. So that's what I've heard. It's a wives' tale, though. Like maybe I'll Google that. What color are ticks attracted to?
Yeah, Sarah said she wanted to know if I use soya Promethean spray. It doesn't work for you with a question mark. I always used Ben's when I was a kid. You see, us Mainers, we come from a different stock. We already educate ourselves. So Sarah, just like, since I was a kid, I've used Ben's and things like that. As I've gotten older, I've gotten higher percentages. Promethean, to the ticks that we have had up here in the Northeast for the last decade at least, is an appetizer to those ticks.
Oh, man.
Promethean does not stop them from biting you. Promethean will just break down their exoskeleton if they eat the Promethean. But it's not really a deterrent anymore. Animals and insects evolve. Think of, people have been toting Promethean since the 70s. These ticks out here are a little bit stronger and a little bit more sturdier nowadays.
Listen to what this says. It says, ticks are primarily attracted to light colors such as bright whites and yellows. However, there is no definitive evidence that ticks are attracted to or repelled by specific colors. It is more likely to locate their host through sensing body heat, carbon dioxide, vibrations, chemical odors, rather than by vision. So ticks can't really see shit. Like they hang out on the edge of a little piece of a grass or about 3 or 4 feet high in the air, and they just latch on to anything that moves. By and brush them.
Yeah. What I will say
they skeeve me out now that we're looking at them.
Yeah, there's been some times where I've been out hiking and I have, you know me, I always wear the bright colors. But I distinctly remember about 4 years ago, as we're talking about it, I had a white Under Armour, long sleeve, athletic shirt on. And I remember getting back into my truck, and I looked down, and there was a tick crawling on the outside of my shirt. So had I had a darker colored shirt, I probably wouldn't have seen it. But because I happen to have one of my white Under Armours, I did see it. So if anything, it's good for the host.
It's funny, like the last time.
Find out when the bugs are on you, but
the last time I saw a tick, this was funny. It's not funny, but like the last time I seen one, we Jenny and I went out hiking, and we checked ourselves with ticks. Come downstairs after getting changed and whatnot, and there was a tick crawling on our paper towel roll. So bright white paper towel roll, big old tick on there. I'm like, oh man, thing hitchhiked all the way here.
Do your cats ever go outside?
No, very rarely. Only on a leash.
Okay, because they tell you when you see a tick in your house on the wall.
This was for me
because that's what'll happen. Oh, okay. But when I was living down in Florida, I remember when we first moved in there, my son got a tick on his belly button. He was like 8.5. It hadn't latched on, but we lived on, on a pond. So our dog, I had a Maltese, and she was always outside and stuff. And even though she had tick and flea protection, those little hitchhikers, those little parasitic hitchhikers.
I think it got me on the backpack because I set my backpack down on the counter that was near the paper towel roll. So I think it hitchhiked on my backpack because we checked ourselves.
Listen,
I didn't check my gear.
Addie, you just reminded me of the most important thing to do. Okay? Mm-hmm. And in addition to getting your gear, all accounted for, getting ready to get out there and hike and forage for mushrooms and herbal plants and stuff like that. Let's talk about the safety when you come home. Okay?
Yeah, I brought that thing right into my house.
Yeah, my practice, okay, when I come in the door, when I come in my back door, my half bath is immediately to my right. The first thing I do is strip off my clothes, okay, first thing. And, I do a tick check. Okay, I'll stand in the mirror, make sure nothing's there, and, I've got long blonde hair that's all the way down to my waist that I always have in a braid, I will undo my hair, and I will actually brush out my hair over a sink to make sure, what I've got in my hair, because I can't see the back of my head, right? I'm sure as heck not going to feel for a tick.
Yeah.
And then I'll feel my head, over and over again to make sure that it's all out. But there's been a few times that I've had ticks that come out of my hair, and I wouldn't have known about it unless I brushed my hair out in the sink. Okay. I then take those clothes that I just stripped myself of, and I don't care how smelly they are. I have, a dryer that I have a steam cycle. And I throw it in there, and I let it run for 10 minutes on a steam cycle, just in case I missed any on the outside of my clothes. Yeah. That dryer is going to kill those ticks. I don't do a full cycle because I don't want stains to set in.
Mm-mm.
So then I take it and I immediately put it in the washing machine, and I'll run a load. So that you don't want to be bringing home hitchhikers. Otherwise you're going to find them, like you said, on your paper towel. And if you don't take proper care, brush your hair out over a sink, things like that. You may be going to bed, and there's a tick embedding in your head. You don't even know it.
Oh, man.
And you won't know about it because those little suckers, they're biting and they're digging in.
Look, Sarah said
you figure it out, it's too late.
Sarah said she ran into a tick nest and had tons of tiny ticks on my pants, wearing khaki pants. So I see ticks all the time. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, they're bad. They're bad up there.
She also said put your clothes in the dryer when you get home to kill the ticks. That's a good one because...
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I haven't really done that. I do a tick check, I get changed, and I throw my clothes just in the hamper. I don't even think about that.
I think a lot of us girls up here in Maine, especially the ones of us that are.
But like I just said, I had one crawling around on my paper towel roll. So that was last year. That could have been anything. It could have been a deer tick, a spider, you name it. Those are the things that you're going to bring home.
Yeah, us Mainers know. We come home, we don't, it's kind of like being a nurse. You come home, you don't want to wear your scrubs while you're cooking dinner and stuff for your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do? They take off their scrubs immediately, and a lot of people were doing this during COVID. They were practicing.
Well, see, I'm a meat cutter, so when I get home, it's get rid of all the clothes on me, and it goes into a special basket for its own disgusting little area, and then those clothes don't get washed with my other clothes because they're all full of meat and stuff.
Yeah, no, they can't. Yours especially because of the blood,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like splattering it around on me, but it gets on my sleeves and stuff.
Yeah. So there's this safety when you come home from hiking, to prevent the ticks, because especially with the way this winter has been going around the eastern seaboard all the way down to Florida, those ticks are going to be blooming for most people in, areas that they don't really get crazy. But us Mainers and us New Englanders, our ticks have been voracious the last 5 years. So we're already ahead of the curve. We already know what to do. If we grew up in the woods, we already know, put your stuff in the dryer. This is just something that, we've become accustomed to that other people may not. And maybe if I share some tips with you guys, it'll help you. I'm hoping.
Yeah, the best thing is just constantly look at your body. Like, look at yourself. Like don't... like even when you're hiking and you go to the bathroom... Yeah, like, have someone that you're comfortable with showing your back to, and
have a tick check, buddy. So, and let that what do you call that? Let any hang-ups you got about your body go right out the window, because it's about your health, and we don't want you getting any Lyme disease that sits latent in your body for 20 years before it starts attacking you.
Have you heard of the tick that will bite you and then make you allergic to meat? It's called the Lone Star tick.
Yeah, that's a Lone Star tick. Yeah, and
I assume that's down south. Is that a Texas thing? Why is it called the Lone Star tick? Southern Eastern U.S.
Texas is where it was named. Texas, I guess, is the Lone Star. But I usually post on, as soon as spring starts coming up, right? I'm really big up on ticks.
Because they're coming up. Are they coming up north? Like, do we have to worry about?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
you do. Dude. People are moving. Ticks are coming with them. Animals are migrating more
so
northern.
They're not putting their clothes in their dryer before they move, and then they're bringing their meat. They're bringing their meat ticks. So this says
they're traveling on trucks. They're traveling on cars. They're traveling on animals.
I'm gonna read about the Lone Star tick. Let's see how good I am. It makes people allergic to red meat and other products made from mammals in the United States. The condition usually begins with the bite of the Lone Star tick. The bite transfers a sugar molecule.
And there's no cure. For it. You don't get over it.
It transfers a sugar molecule called alpha-gal into the body. Alpha-gal refers to a type of sugar found in red meat. and you can develop an allergic reaction to it after being bitten by a Lone Star tick, so you can't digest this sugar anymore.
No, you can't.
An aggressive tick that's found... So it's an aggressive one. That's what this says. Found in southern and eastern U.S., according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So, yeah, that's a gnarly tick, dude.
Sarah just typed...
I'm scratching. Do you see me scratching? I'm like, ugh, fuck.
No, I mean, it's scary. Kind of like COVID made people's smell and taste go away.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got, this Lone Star tick. But listen, if you have a tick, you don't know how to identify it, okay? If you can't find an identifier tool on the internet, which I find hard to believe, it'll be there. But if it's smashed or something like that, contact your local university co-op extension. They'll be able to give you resources where they do testing. In Massachusetts, there's all kinds of resources where you can send off your tick to get tested. You keep it in a little baggie.
Yeah.
And you can send it off, and people will positively ID it for you. Based on the DNA of the tick. And it's really not that expensive. I think it's under $100.
The Lone Star has like a single dot on it, and maybe that's why they call it that too. It's pretty. I've never seen one in person.
Sarah says, my doctor that treated me for 5 tick-borne diseases can cure the meat allergy one. Sarah, I definitely want to hear more about that.
That would be cool. That'd be a breakthrough.
Yeah, because as far as I know, and I've not kept up on recent developments on Lone Star tick because it doesn't really apply to me for about a year. So, I'd love to learn about it. If there's something out there that once somebody has the gall bite, that it will reverse that. That guy's whoever invented that is an instant billionaire. Because think about all the people that have Lone Star tick disease that can't eat meat, and as far as I know, there's nothing to reverse that.
Yeah. I'm googling it.
Can you listen? You can treat.
It says you can treat it with epinephrine auto-injectors. I guess if you want to eat meat, maybe you can inject something to trigger your body.
Epinephrine is reduces inflammation and swelling, especially if you're allergic to bees and stuff like that and hornets. You got to carry an EpiPen, right?
It just says to prevent tick bites.
So that makes sense, but I don't think it reverses the disease once it starts.
Yeah, Sarah, currently if you Google it, and I'm not fact-checking you by any means, we love the extra info, but if you Google it, it just right out of the gate just shuts it down. It says cancel, but that's just I never go by the first answer anyway, but there has to be something.
You gotta understand the science. I'm looking for it. Yeah, but there are treatments. Okay.
Yeah, there's treatments.
You have a window now. Okay, I think it's from the time that you're bit, 10 to 14 days.
It's called alpha-gal syndrome. Alpha-gal syndrome is
if you notice, as soon as you notice a bullseye, if you get on an antibiotic regimen that you have to be on for 10 days, I believe it is 10 to 14 days, you get on that, and it'll prevent the Lyme disease from kicking in. That's for Lyme, okay? And I developed a bullseye a couple of years ago from a bite that I had in Massachusetts on the back of my knee, and I immediately got on the antibiotics and, subsequently tested Lyme-free. For a few months after that, and still to this day, I didn't get Lyme. So I think that there might be a window. The problem is
I don't know.
Most people that, get Lyme or get bit by a tick, they don't even know it.
You don't know it till later because you don't feel a deer tick. A deer tick is the size of I don't know, what would you say, a finger, smaller than a fingernail? I don't, dude, I had one on me, and it made me itchy, and I was scratching. Dude, and it was right on my arm. And I got it just as it latched on. But deer ticks leave a bullseye no matter what. So, It's not.
If
it's not like if.
You know?
It's not like you get Lyme's.
Yeah, but think about it. You get bit on the head, you're not going to see a bullseye.
No, you're not going to feel it either. It might scratch a little bit, like you got bit by a mosquito, but like if you saw that in person, you'd be like, wow, that's a perfect bullseye.
Yeah.
So let me
by
read.
The time it starts itching, it's already embedded in. By the time it's itching.
So this says, we'll go back to the alpha gal or A gal. It says this is from the Lone Star tick. It says when alpha gal enters the bloodstream, it can increase your sensitivity to red meat. This can trigger an immune system response. So this is what happens. Your body reacts as if red meat is harmful, causing allergic symptoms. So you it's fucking crazy. That sucks, dude. And like,
it really does.
And like,
and Sarah, you know, the
just can't reverse
ticks,
that. That's just like an auto. Like,
no, you can't. Now, ticks in the nymph stage. Okay, you can literally put 100 of them on the top of a pin. Okay.
Yeah.
I routinely post a picture on my gardening social media sites every year.
The deer tick was so tiny.
People the different sizes of ticks as they grow. Okay, and if you know, you would think that it looks like a speck of dirt on your hand.
Oh,
it's
I know.
Not. It's a tick.
It looks like something you wipe off, and then it doesn't go away. And then you're like, and you really look at it, and you can see that it's a tiny little, disgusting little creature on you. Ugh.
It is. So listen, we want to educate with tools and resources, and not by fear, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to discourage anyone from going out in the woods thinking that, I'm going to get a tick. No, I'm giving you the tools so that you can avoid that. You gotta have the proper attire. When you come home, strip those clothes off, take the boots off, you know, leave them outside, shake them out, whatever, and jump in the shower, okay? Scrubbies, you know, those round scrubby things, that I use those because those are great, because those things will scrape anything off of you, you know, those and loofahs, you know, so you get those long ones that you can use for your bath.
Yeah.
I've got both. I got the scrubby, you know, that I can use for my bath.
Dude, we were really breaking down some gear. Like, we have been, like, what you need to be wearing, breaking it down.
Your hygiene when you come home.
And Sarah, like, thanks for contributing. She's been helping too. I'm glad that she found a doctor, a homeopathic doctor, that has helped her, because, dude, like, if you go online, like, dude, my friend I work with, he got Lyme's disease, like, and this was maybe like 10 years ago, and like, I felt so terrible. Like, he had, you know, I don't want to speak on his behalf, but like, he had to take a lot of pills and get poked and prodded a lot, and like, I was uncomfortable. Well, the thing
is with Lyme disease, it sits latent in your body for like 25 years.
This is a long time ago, too. This is maybe like 8 to 10 years ago, like, and it's just weird. Like, he couldn't describe how he felt either. Like, I'm like, well, what the hell do you feel like? He's just like, dude, like, no energy, but like at the same time, like, I don't know, like, super strange. And I have another neighborhood friend grew up. He got Lyme's disease as a kid, and they had to put like a PICC line through him. Dude, it was brutal, but he made it through, and it didn't affect him long term. But that was scary too.
Lyme disease sucks.
And we hiked together. I could have gotten bitten by it instead of him, and who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, ticks. Immediate response, checking yourself. That would be my number one tip.
Stripping off your clothes, do a tick check, and then jump in the shower. And use an abrasive type of, not just a washcloth, okay? Get one of those scrubbies, because ticks are kind of laxy. And at least, you know, if you're going in circular motions and you're, you know, using that thing, chances of you being able to breed a tick off are very high. You know, so that's why I say, you know, get aggressive
like,
with
what
it.
If you get...
You know, brushing your hair out over the sink, you know, multiple times.
Can a tick survive on you underwater? Like, can it latch onto you, and then say you're swimming in the ocean for an hour? Like, is it going to stay on you, or is that
Ocean water's a little bit different, but once it's embedded, think about it, its head is inside your skin. That
so it has... Oh, man, fucking... Those things...
It's not going to come out. You got to dig those things out.
I've seen people...
And you got to pull the whole thing out.
Yeah,
you know,
the head will stay, and you get infected, right?
Yeah. Because it's
so
the toxins.
You almost want to encourage it to like dislodge from you, right? rather than just rip it out, or what?
Dude, I've had, ex-boyfriends wear surgical loops and use tiny little pillars that I have.
Is that on like a deer tick or something like that?
To haul it out, because I don't want even one piece of the exoskeleton in my cup.
I don't fuck that.
Infection. Yeah, it leaves you up for infection. So now we've covered all the gross things and how to protect yourself and, your gear, get a good, seagrass, basket that allows the spores to spread while you're walking and hiking and collecting, things like that. So we've gone over gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've gone over, the Lyme disease and stuff like that, what else do you want to go over?
I don't know. I feel.
Did we leave anything out?
No, Sarah commented again. She said it was 20 years before I knew. I guess she had like a Lyme disease. I'm not sure what she had. Like a tick infection, and then was on 2 antibiotics for a year and a half with other meds. Lyme, fog, brain. So that's exactly what he described. And he said it's like,
yeah, that's what Lyme does.
It's like you're just kind of like existing in a way, like you're just, I don't know.
Yeah, you get a foggy brain. Think about it. Your body is developing antibodies to fight a disease that's in your body.
Yeah.
Okay? And in that, you're going to develop some type of plaque someplace, because your immune system is on fleek. And, now, I just read something on the AP Newswire this week that they said scientists have now linked Alzheimer's to an autoimmune response, which is why the plaques develop.
Really?
So
that's
so think about it. There's that saying that I always say, God said He gives you everything that you need, and whether that's mushrooms that you got to go out and hunt for or whatever, your body is a well-oiled machine that's self-contained, that has the ability, unless you have, a genetic disorder or something like that, or an autoimmune disease already pre-existing, your body is made to clear out. That's why you have white blood cells. That's why you have your immunoresponse and so forth. So that's why it's important to boost your immunity, okay? And that's where the turkey tail and the reishi come in, as well as cordyceps mushrooms, lion's mane. I talked a lot about lion's mane in the forums in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, dude, that's on my to-do list is lion's mane.
Yeah, there are a lot of people.
Do you think that would help something?
Well, listen, there's a lot of people with MS. Okay, and MS...
I have a close friend with it. He's my age. And,
yeah. Okay, so a nerve axon, if you can picture in your head, if you remember your science from college or high school, okay,
I'll try.
It has these octopusy legs on it. Those are called nerve axons, okay? Those long fibrous pieces have these insulators on them called a myelin sheath. Okay, think of how toilet paper is rolled around a toilet paper roll. Okay, that's what a myelin sheath does. It protects the axon. The axon is what delivers the nerve signal to your muscles and your body. Okay, MS is the autoimmune breakdown of the myelin sheath, so that your body no longer is getting those signals anymore.
Yeah,
that's why the muscles don't respond.
Yeah.
Speech patterns are even affected in advanced cases. They can lose their ability to speak and so forth.
Yeah, and it can target like different areas of the body too, like.
That's right.
Right.
That's
so certain people might have walking problems or talking problems or whatever
because the nerve axons don't have that ability to send those messages anymore. They don't have the insulators there.
Yeah.
So the only thing that is in nature, and the only thing that I know, okay, and if anybody knows something better, let me know. I don't know everything, and I'm all about how science is constantly evolving, and maybe there's something else out there. But as far as I know, the only natural remedy, and it's the only remedy that helps any patients with MS is lion's mane. Lion's mane mushroom actually remyelinates the nerve axons that for the dendrites. It remyelinates it. There's nothing in pharmacology that I know of that does that. Okay? So lion's mane is a good go-to. If your muscles, you're not quick enough, you got that brain fog going on, cordyceps mushrooms are also excellent for that. Okay? So I always mess this up. Lion's mane. Okay? There's a couple different varieties. Okay? There's a kind that looks like it's like these long fingers, okay, that looks like the head of a lion, looks like a lion's mane. There's also coralites, which it's called bear's head tooth. That's the common name for it.
Yeah.
But it's Hericium coralites is what the genus and the name is, Latin term for it. And that's the same thing. It'll do the same thing. Okay. The important thing is that you eat it. It's a crab meat substitute. You can make crab cakes with it, but people are really wanting to make these as tinctures. And I notice in a few of the forums, the big deal is people want to dry the lion's mane, then they want to grind it into a powder, and then they put it in an alcohol infusion, and then they want to decoct it with water. That's a shit show. That's a mess.
It sounds like you're just beating the hell out of that thing until it's worth nothing.
Well, when you're drying, you're taking out the necessary water constituents that you need, as opposed.
I would tincture that thing right as it sits, basically.
Right. Yeah, you should cut it up, chop it up in pieces.
High proof alcohol and be done with it.
High proof alcohol, fresh, not dry. Okay, because you're going to lose a lot of the optimal medicinal values when you dry it, because heat denatures proteins. Okay?
Yeah, do you think...
It's plain and simple. You put it in a dehydrator, even a dehydrator generates heat. It's denaturing and it's killing off some of those proteins that you need. So, what I see happening is, and a lot of the forums are, and there was one today where a woman said...
Lion's mane's being super farmed right now. You notice that?
It is cultivated.
It used to not be, but now they got it down to a pat where you can anybody can just grow one in their living room.
Box.
Which is cool, but that didn't exist not that long ago, right?
No, it didn't. But you got
that's not going to have all the medicinal properties, right? The one growing in your living room is not going to have all the wild.
The one in the living room isn't going to have the optimal medicinals.
I still want one
for two reasons. It's not growing wild in nature, so it's not getting the glucose and stuff like that from its host, which is a tree. And it's not getting that natural vitamin D3 synthesis in order to produce those carbohydrates, the beta-glucans, that are the real powerhouse in this, which is why you decoct it in water, distilled water, by the way, everybody, because of pH. You want to have a good pH. So one of the forums, in the last day, there was a woman who said that she cultivates it, and what she does in order so that it doesn't go bad is she boils the lion's mane, first. Then she takes the water from that decoction and she freezes it. While then she scoops out the lion's mane out of the water, or strains it out, and she puts that in alcohol extraction after. Problem?
So...
What do you see as a problem, Addie?
Too many things. Too many steps.
Alcohol extraction is always first.
Too many steps.
Yeah. Alcohol extraction is first. Okay,
and they're in the wrong order. Too many steps and they're in the wrong order.
Yeah. Freezing anything, especially, lion's mane water or anything, it can develop frost crystals. That degrades and dilutes that water decoction.
Yeah.
Besides, you don't do a water decoction before you do the alcohol. It's the alcohol first, and then it's the water. Because think about it, you're taking that mushroom that still has some of that alcohol in it. You know, if you didn't squeeze it all out, because it's possible to extract it all out that way. When you're doing it at home for home use, at least. And you know, then you take that mushroom and you put it in the water to bring out the water-soluble properties. Okay, if you're freezing at extreme temperatures, think about it. You don't harvest mullein or mushrooms in the wintertime. Why? Because the temperature froze them. Their medicinal value is no longer optimal. Okay, and that's not even that water decoction that you just took all that great beta glucan and you froze it. That to me,
yeah,
you know,
like
so.
I feel like it's not like raw meat, you know what I mean? Like it's not like let me throw my chicken in the freezer and it'll be fine when I take it out later.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
Yeah, Sarah, definitely tell your brother about lion's mane and cordyceps. And you know, that gives you a motivator to get out there and to wild forage it, you know. And in Maine, I see them growing, you know, as early as May. So, you know, you see a Coralites or you see the Americana out there, go ahead and grab it. And, you know, I always tell people I like to do things, you know, the way my family's done things since the 1600s, okay? I prefer not to dehydrate if I'm using it for optimal medicinal values, okay? If I'm going to dehydrate it, I want to do it in natural sun on a cookie sheet, you know, that gets lots of air, you know, those wire wraps, you know, even those herbal things, you know, and out in the sun, you know, if you can do that. Because then the beta-glucan production is still going on. You're increasing the value of the medicinals in that mushroom at that point. But Sarah, if you can get a hold of some capsules, I would only, and I've said this before, I would only buy from false gametes, even though most of the lion's mane is cultivated. But Sarah, don't forget, we've got North Spore here in Maine. Great myco company. You can get a box. You can grow it yourself. You can grow it by a window, so you can get some of those. You know, you still are going to get that vitamin D3 synthesis if your windows aren't coated with that UV stuff like mine are. But you can increase the value of that lion's mane and, you know, eat it. You can buy it fresh in the store here in Maine. You know, we've got big grocery chains that have cultivated mushrooms where you get the box and you get all different pieces. But for MS, this is what you want to use. And brain fog, you know, cordyceps, lion's mane are great with that, you know, especially going through menopause. If you're an older woman, you develop a lot of brain fog because our bodies are different than men. You know, you start eating lion's mane, your mental acuity is on spot on. It's wonderful. And you definitely notice it when you stop taking, you know, those supplements. You get a little bit slower.
Yeah, I notice when I skip turkey tails, something as small as that I notice.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I love my turkey tail and my
gut health goes to crap,
dude,
literally. I'm like, man, dude, I forgot if I go to work and I forget to, this happened to me like last week, I was like, man, I was like, shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
You know, but like I said, the other benefit to taking the turkey tail and the reishi doses every day is that it makes your bowel movements pretty regular.
Yeah, it does.
And, you know, when I have these new clients, you know, that's the first thing they'll say to me. They're like, I'm not constipated anymore. You know, and it's not loose stool that comes out either. You know, it's regular. You know, it's not... You know, we all get the point. I know, but listen, we got to talk about it because, you know, it's easy to get dehydrated.
Yeah.
It's easy, you know, not to eat, you know, the right foods. You know, people are still eating processed foods. That has a way of creating inflammation. It keeps your body from, you know, getting rid of stuff. That's the whole goal of processed foods.
And, like, you don't notice it at first, but, like, once you've been like, I don't know, a week or two in, and then you like say you like miss a day, and then I don't know. It took me a little while to figure it all out and dial it in, but I take like a...
Listen, as you get older, Addie, you're just a little baby in my book.
Yeah, okay.
Because no, you're a young guy. When you get older,
I'm 35, so I'm not super...
Constipation is really an issue among an older demographic, or if someone's on something like Ozempic, the GLPs and stuff like that, because they slow down intestinal motility.
I feel like all those kind of medications do. Painkillers, all that stuff. Messes you up.
Yeah, and I'm a diabetic type 2. And I want to come off of, metformin, which is also natural med, by the way, loaded with synthetics too. But, so I've been on Ozempic now since the end of last summer. And it was the first thing I noticed was my intestinal motility. And it was an issue, which is why, taking the turkey tail and the reishi and doubling up on it, really helps for a lot of reasons. Because reishi and turkey tail, they're loaded with fiber.
I mean, I haven't seen weight loss be like attributed to turkey tail, but I don't know. I could see that dancing around.
Well, think about it. If you're constipated, you're now evacuating your body system. That junk is staying up in there. The salt. Yeah. Well, listen.
I don't think it's a diuretic. I don't think it's like it makes you go. I just think it helps you.
No.
I just think
it definitely helps. At least my tinctures do because my ratios are so tight. I don't do a 1-to-5 ratio like the mass produced that you see, and a lot of vendors do. They'll do like a 1-to-4, 1-to-5 ratio.
Yeah.
1 part alcohol, 5 parts water decoction. Me, I try to keep it really tight, like a 1.1 to a 1.75.
Yeah, I like it. I mix it in my tea. That or hot chocolate I mix it in, and when I add it to the hot chocolate, it adds like a woody, like naturey vibe. So I don't know, I like it.
Yeah, I don't even taste mine in my ice.
I can taste it, but I'm such a picky eater that I taste everything, so I know when it's in there or not in there.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah, I got a strong palate over here.
Yeah, so we went over to Lion's Mane and what I saw. Let me think. I know that there was something else I wanted to talk about this week, but here it is. Giveaway.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, guys, here's the deal. Okay, I am going to do a giveaway of a 2-pack of 2 ounces of turkey tail and 2 ounces of reishi tincture. Okay. We're going to pull the winner next week during our live podcast. Okay. So like the video, comment on the video. Okay. If you're not already an existing client of ours, of Addie or I's, then make sure, just leave a little comment. And share it, okay? So we'll put up this podcast later on, or, I don't know, we're going to make some type of announcement. I don't know how we're going to do it.
We'll make a post.
But you comment, and you share, because I want you to share it with good people that are on your social media, somebody who may be interested, because, you could be giving the gift of health to somebody, and maybe they've got questions, maybe they want to learn, and it's not something that you really talk about a lot in social groups. When you're out with your friends having cocktails or dinner, you don't say, hey, I want to eat better and do better. Some people do, a lot of people don't. They're catching up on other things. So you could be giving them a gift of health, and you don't even realize it. But we want to grow this community. We want to be a presence, and with your help, all of us are going to grow together, and we're all going to elevate together. And I really like that. But as a sign of appreciation,
that's great.
I'm going to send you a couple tinctures, and they're going to come to you by priority mail, postage paid, everything else, and we'll pull the name out of the hat next week. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. I hope a lot of people participate. So, I mean, everybody should. Why not?
Yeah. I think, I like...
Especially people that buy from you. I wish I could participate, because I actually like those 2 items, so I hope everybody just participates and hangs out and keeps supporting.
Yeah, and I made a special announcement today on the Practical Foragers, as well as, my professional page, of the special freebie I'm giving away this weekend only. So you spend $100 or more, you place an order. If you place it on my Etsy site, on New England Planner on Etsy, you got to pay for shipping. I really don't have any control over Etsy. I do have control if it's direct billing through Venmo invoicing. So if you want to place an order and you want to get free shipping, send me a PM. If you're not already a client of mine, make sure that I have your email address so that I can invoice you, as well as the shipping address. I'll send you a Venmo invoice. Once it's paid, I send it right out. And I think everybody knows I'm a pretty quick shipper. If I don't send that day, which, if I get the orders in before 1 o'clock, I'll send the same day. But I'll send
priority mail is on point
day.
right now, too. I've been using priority mail for the past, year and a half, 2 years, ever since they switched all their stuff up.
Mail.
And, man, it's rocking, dude.
I'll track your package. You can track your package.
And it's insured. And you can leave all these different options if you want to sign for it. If not, when it's super hot out, and if you're getting the delivery of some tinctures, dude, you don't want that package sitting out in that heat for longer than a couple hours, or even if that. So priority mail is great for shipping. For us.
I don't want my tinctures sitting anywhere.
No, dude.
But I will tell you, during, it was right after Christmas. I had one client I sent a priority, and it took almost a week to get to her.
Somebody must have inspected your package, because that's the only thing that happened to me.
No, I was told, because I questioned it. I was told, and I got a subsequent email that said the same thing.
You're lucky you even asked about it.
No, shipping times, because of the storms and the fires, were interrupted. So, this person, I sent it out west, so that's how come they didn't get it right on.
Yeah.
Because shipping times were affected with the storms. So weather does play in here, which is my point. I would never send my tinctures in the middle of August by regular mail or by, bulk UPS. I just wouldn't do it,
Yeah, medium mail, 7 to 10 days, dude.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
By the time that thing gets to you, they could be compromised. I don't know.
Well, heat. Even though it's in a box, I still worry about the heat. Yeah, I don't want it just sitting in a 90-degree warehouse. Sorry. I just don't. So, shipping, works pretty well. Priority shipping has always worked well for me. Plus
I don't think
clients, peace of mind.
That little topic came up this time. Well, not this time last year, but it came up over the past summer, and I had somebody.
I know it did. I had somebody
reach out to me, and they're like, "Dude, this thing's hot." They're like, my tincture got super warm and all this stuff, and I just refunded them. I was like, keep it. But
no, listen, an alcohol it's not gonna.
It was weird though. They were just, I don't know. They didn't, and then I started thinking. I'm like. Because I was selling 15 milliliter bottles, so they were small bottles. They weren't I think bigger.
And you were shipping in envelopes, right?
Yes, padded envelopes.
Yeah, padded envelopes.
It wasn't the best, and I was using ground, and it took a while. But, anyways, learning.
I'd be more worried about somebody stepping on it. Padded or not, 15 milliliter, that could happen,
Well,
that's how come I pay that extra money. I buy the boxes, I buy the packaging.
You gotta sign up, you gotta get them boxes for free, Jan. They send me all my own packaging and stuff. It's great. They send me all my stuff.
Listen, I've got some of those priority boxes that are
it's only priority though. That's the thing. If you ship something on ground, I gotta come up with my own shipping stuff. Shipping's a whole other thing.
I have a whole shipping area in
Me
my
too.
in my lab.
If I turn my laptop around, you'll see it. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess we're coming up on an hour and 52 minutes. I think I'm ready to wrap it up. What about you? Are you good?
I think I am too. Listen, everybody, thank you for joining in. Sarah, happy birthday, my love.
Happy birthday, Sarah.
I hope you have an excellent weekend. Sarah, this weekend, I am headed to the Camden Winterfest. So that's where I'm going tomorrow morning. I'm going to be down at Camden. Sarah, come on up. If you end up down there, shoot me a PM. Maybe we can meet up. But if anybody's in Maine, you want to find something to do fun this winter, you head down to the Camden Winterfest. They have ice carving, all kinds of cool stuff that goes on.
That sounds cool.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, skijoring and all that stuff is kicking up, and the Toboggan Festival in Camden at the Winter
You guys are
Bowl
hitting
is
the peak
happening.
winter in Maine right now.
Yeah, Camden's going to have their Toboggan Festival coming up in the next 2 weeks, so that's the next thing that comes up.
We're waiting on our groundhog, so that's what we got going on. February 2nd.
I'm going to be there. Yeah, I'm not believing that thing. I never do. Are you kidding me?
He always says it's going to be longer winter.
Yeah.
All right.
We really appreciate you guys. I'm going to be posting the giveaway on the site, sometime in the next, 24 to 48 hours. Some point over the weekend it'll be posted. And I'll do add everyone so everybody gets a notice of it on the Practical Foragers. Eat your mushrooms, take your vitamins, stay away from processed foods, keep your hands to yourself, and enjoy the wonderful weekend and spread some kindness and stay healthy, huh?
Yep, have a good one. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, everybody.
Peace out. All right. And we're done.
Clicked off? Good. That one girl that I mentioned was out in San Diego. She's a girl I went to high school with. She's like a weirdo. But she's always been sweet, and I'm glad she listened in, because there are some people that I went to high school with. They're like, Jan, I listened to you on YouTube the other day. Was that you? And I'm like, yep, we got a Spotify too, yo. What? Yep, Spotify.
Yeah, it surprises people, but.
And your sister's listening. Your twin.
Yeah, she always listens. She just doesn't comment much. But dude, she's a big hiker, so when it comes out, she's gonna be hiking.